Hey, what's going on, guys?
We're
Today,
so
Josh
zany.
and I have a special guest, and hopefully we won't get any copyright strike from Disney or something. Old Snow Yeti. Oh, well, there you go.
It's always been this guy. It always has been. Sorry, Zach.
No. I was just gonna check in with the Snow Yeti, make sure that he had all his paperwork lined up so that we were all good to have him on the show. But if he was just making a cameo, then it should be all right.
I don't know how to do the voice. Paperwork I has, but of course that's Yoda.
Yeah.
It's instant
Wait, isn't
fail.
this Yoda?
I don't know how Wampas talk. You know?
Monster roar. Yeah.
Actually, I played Hamlet, and once when I had my arm cut off by a lightsaber, it really hurt.
Exactly. He's kind of like the what's the Dave Chappelle sketch? Did you guys watch much of the Dave Chappelle show with with the Little John, where he's doing all the Little John quotes? Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What was that? It just switches the voice.
Dave Chappelle's
Yeah, he's got the
genius,
same
isn't he?
thing.
He's a genius. Okay.
Roars, and then he's got a super English accent. Everyone in Star Wars has to have an English accent.
You got to go the opposite avenue. If he's a beast, he must be posh.
Ah, yes.
That's how he gets all the work.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, he's just misunderstood.
Well, welcome to the show, guys. For a new episode, got a special guest here. Obviously, Link's joining us today. Afternoon, guys.
Josh is the special guest. No, he's regular cast now, right?
He's always a special guest here on my
I'm
channel.
just really happy today that nobody else said yes, so I got the gig.
Dude, man, you were in the top 10, and we were so glad the final 10 choice.
Now tell me more about the award I'm getting today.
The award you get.
I couldn't stop from laughing. Sorry. Quick, I know it's live, but can we do another take on that?
Just starting off the whole thing. No, we're gonna give you a plaque, Link. You're gonna be like the certified. You're like, all the news channels have their what are they called? I forget what they're called. Correspondents for different stuff. Okay. You're the Machine and Krieger correspondent for my channel.
That's it. Yep.
So I've got
you gotta keep touching one of your headphones as you're talking the whole time, like you get live signals.
Yes.
You got Link out front.
Hello, Josh. Hello, Zach. Yes.
Yes.
He's up front.
I has the robots.
Over there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So of course we're gonna be taking a look at a whole bunch of
anything about the MAK Machine and Krieger nonsense, right?
Well,
I mean, I looked at a couple of the back of the boxes, but other than that, no idea.
Looked at a couple of the back of the boxes.
And they'll look the same to me. Gunpla's where it's at.
Yes, obviously, of course. And the back of the boxes of Gunpla is much better, much more fun to look at anyway, too.
So random.
I mean, don't make me pull one off. Josh knows it's my favorite thing to do.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Could you repeat that line again for the camera? Don't make me pull one off. Is, I believe what was said as he showed a plain glossy black box.
Glossy.
I mean, I like gloss too, but
I don't
know if I could really pull one off to it.
A Gunpla box, censored bar.
It was a bit crazy when the real grades came out and it was like black gloss, not just plain cardboard. A bit premium.
Premium box.
Premium box.
All right.
Okay, so everybody.
It's covering his eyes. He must be young. For a while.
Everybody shut up. I'm going to tell everybody what the show's about. So, each week.
Josh, you can. And then, yes, I have a question, something else to talk about. But go ahead and let everyone know what we're doing here today.
Each week, we go through Twitter, Japanese Twitter usually, and we follow a hashtag, something like everybody post your Xeon suit, everybody post your Zaku Dom Day. We go through all the hashtags, look at all the images, comment, and critique and pull up on people if they haven't finished any scene lines or anything like that. And Zach and I are the best at kind of objective quality. Lincoln is up there with us. He's Team 3, and we have him as a guest today, so he's going to go through as well. So if you don't follow these people and you like something, follow them. Japanese Twitter is really cool.
So you mean to say I get to talk smack about the Machine and Krieger builds by my friends in Japan on this show?
Yeah. I hope if you actually, if one of these builders is actually one of your friends, that would be great.
Yeah,
I did preview the tag. I do know a bunch of these guys. We used to be better connected, but Twitter shut me down when I moved out of Japan. They said that can't be you. You're now physically in the Gold Coast, and they killed my Japan account.
no,
damn it!
I'm not bitter. You Twitter.
Well, that's what I wanted you to explain. Josh always does his explanation, but Link, I was hoping you could explain a little bit about the actual hashtag, the North Q, because I don't actually know what Q is referring to. I know that Air exhibition just means that because they couldn't have the exhibition actually in person, everyone actually getting together to have like an actual show together, which is what they normally do. Air exhibition means that they're just doing it online. But what's the North Q?
At what point of the show and what percentage do I need to speak in Japanese for me to really, get a bunch of like offensive feedback and stuff?
I don't know. Just flex your Japanese.
That's it.
The trouble is, you guys are so pro. I can't ruffle you. Whatever I say, you guys go, okay, just do it.
Yeah.
I want you to be more angry. Get angrier faster.
I hate Patagonia merch. There you go.
Is this even on the interwebs?
You're messing with the wrong ones. Probably the most couple of the most chill guys that I know.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You guys are both. You're the nice guys that I would like to pretend to be one day.
And we're both pretending anyway, so we'll teach you how to pretend.
Either way would work. So the hashtag, it's so Kita-Kyu area Tenjikai is what it says, and Kita-Kyu is for Kita Kyushu, Northern Kyushu. That's I don't know how it shows me, but you got the Hokkaido island up the top, then you got Honshu, then you got Kyushu and Shikoku down the bottom for the big four. Kyushu is the big one at the north. And actually, oh wow, dude, this is on the interwebs. Look at this. We've got technologies. Here I am making hand air things. Zach's got all kinds of button action happening. So
there you go.
It's on that left one there. It's the red one. Kita-Kyu.
Down here.
Yeah, that one. And it says northern, so it must be a Fukuoka Kita-Kyushu. And it even says Kita-Kyushu. So Kita-Kyu. It's like a nickname for Kita-Kyushu.
Mm-hmm.
And
that makes sense.
Yokoyama-san, the original artist, sensei, he's from Kyushu.
I
don't think they're lining that up. It's just more like, the more recent popular Tenjikai is, I forget the name of it, man. Sorry. I've been writing recently, so I'm all... I'm like that normally, but I'm worse. The usual Tenjikai is right from Tokyo sort of area. So that's what these guys are doing. There must be a group from there. But also seeing that, they're not doing it. A bunch of the guys are from all over the place. I am noticing that it doesn't seem to be strictly limited to people from there.
So that's where the police can come out, Zach.
Yeah, yeah. That's Link will be our inductee today, our deputy for the Plamo police.
Okay.
Deputy Plamo. We could like mail new guest badges that they can put on before the show.
No, yeah, I mean, just for people who don't understand kind of what we're talking about, usually like in different areas of Japan, like they'll have a meeting where they'll all get together, and it's not necessarily a competition. They'll all bring their stuff and just show it off there and hang out and take pictures of each other's work and stuff, basically. Yeah.
Actually, sorry to skip that, Zach. That was that's a good cat. And Tenjikai is just Tenjikai. It's a meetup. So they're never competitions, though. Although there's a little bit of, argy-bargy, you could say, but they're more of just, meeting up, having fun, and showing and sharing cool stuff. Yeah. They're really, really worth going to. They're fun.
So because of Corona, basically they're doing all of them by air. Josh and I did an episode, like right when we first kind of started doing these during the summer. One of our first episodes was the Air Shizuoka. Because Shizuoka being canceled, they did Air Shizuoka. So that was a good one to look at. Oh, thanks for watching it, Link.
The Luca guys, Luca in Italy, They're also doing one. So it's really good. Modelers are such cool folks, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's good how they've changed for that. It's good.
Indeed. But so yeah, Link, if you know anyone, if you know they're not from Kyushu, actually let us know and we'll flip the sirens on.
No, I've got to be careful. Can I do a little quick confession? So
Yes.
Sometimes I know their faces, sometimes I know their real names, and sometimes I know their Twitter handles. They don't always match up though. So this guy's from Hong Kong. So they don't always match up. So if I'm a bit off, like surely you guys have both had this happen to you at shows. People come up all excited because they've seen you before. And they go, "Hey Josh, hey Jack." You go, "Mate,
yeah,
buddy," and
hey man,
yeah, dude, you made it! Wow. Yeah, so you have to ask them. They're like you. Yeah.
No, you can't, because then you have to remember if someone tells you their name in person, though, you can never then make that mistake. It's ultimate faux pas. But Jung-san, we know him. He's from Hong Kong. Yeah. Okay, if you watch the show.
Definitely. If you guys are interested in this stuff, you guys watching, not you two guys, but those of you guys watching, if you're not following Kyung, I would highly recommend it. Yeah, he's definitely one of the more high profile.
What did he say?
Don't you think?
Which one? Who? What?
Kyung is a pretty high profile modeler. I mean, his work's out there quite a bit and pretty good.
He puts it out there quite a bit, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
That was a little bit too accurate, wasn't it?
Let's take a look.
Hey, you used that pink color on your model again, KH. Well done.
You don't like the pink color for the boot toe on the front?
Yeah, that's a big the boot toe. I like KH stuff. It's fast. He does. Sorry, am I allowed to just start talking shit? Sorry, guys. I should first let you guys. But I'll just do it at once. What I really like about KH's work is that he's fast. He kind of embodies the proper spirit of Maschinen Krieger that Yokoyama-san talks about. This is a Buffalo kit, so I'm surprised that he got it so quick, finished it so quick, and has already got it up on the internet already. I mean, this was just released I think a couple of weeks ago. It's a weird mashup that I think Yokoyama-san made an original one of this as a bit of a gag. It's not a serious build. He kind of rearranged a bunch of parts from something else, but stayed within a certain like group of parts. It's a build like that. I haven't really looked into it, so it's not like mainstream Maschinen Krieger. It's like one of the little. It's like Gundam build fighters.
Is this an actual kit that you can buy? I've never seen it before.
Yeah. This is recently Rainbow Egg, one of the companies that does them. Kato-san, he made a kit of it.
Okay.
Based on it's interesting. It's very difficult to read, isn't it? If you're used to cleaner aesthetics from Gunpla, I could imagine you look at this and go, "What the hell is that thing?" Yeah. It's not on my list. It's good.
It's hard to tell like what I'm looking at here.
It's not a great photo. The angle, so that's the face. Where is that yours? Oh no, it's mine. So that would be the face area down over there. But the way this has been arranged, it's difficult for somebody to read it.
Sure. But personally, I really like the colors of these two.
Yeah.
These two. So nice colors. I really like them.
The green is new for KH. I don't often see him use that green color. It's a funny thing. KH, his brother is a big Gundam guy.
Oh, really?
KH does Gundam as well, but he's really into Gunpla.
Yeah, the green makes it look like it's like a bit grown over, like a bit mossy, even though it isn't. I guess the dirty brown as well. Yeah.
It's an interesting direction to go with the spacesuit.
So I showed you yesterday, and I was talking to you how I'm working on the Kuster here, very old kit, as you said. And I wanted to ask you this, and I figured I'd ask you live because it'd be interesting information to share with everyone else too. But if you were doing like we've talked about before, and I know you've talked about doing builds like for magazines or something in the past, where like you get sent a kit, and then you have like a couple days basically to finish it, totally for.
Hey, I'm still a professional guy. I'm still.
Okay,
they still love me.
Anyway, in that certain situation, I'm just wondering how you, if
It's
you
not
have
all in the past. It's not. It's not.
All right, well, fair enough.
Sorry, I thought that would be funnier.
My point is, how would you go about removing some like massive seam lines like that when you don't have a ton of time to like wait around for glue to dry?
Okay.
Use accelerant or what?
It's a legit question then.
Yeah.
I wanted to be sure. The fastest way to get past something like that is to not fix them. So either turn them into a detail or use heavy texture to if you texturize something like that, you don't actually have to clean it up, do you? You can make it a feature rather than it be a problem.
Sure.
Did that come out right? So
yeah, kind of like here, like these little seam lines there on like above the shoulders, basically kind of the same thing, right?
That's not a seam line. So that's where the shell pops open. No, I know. It looks like it. Okay. How are you going to get in and out of the suit, Zach?
Just pop over from the top. Just the top part pops open, right?
But
the lid.
I know if I was harsh, I think the reason it looks like it's probably a seam line is see how it's not matched up. I know I'm pointing, but nobody can tell. I'm pointing at the screen. Surely you can see it. See how there's a gap between the lid and the backpack. So he hasn't quite pushed the backpack into place for a solid fit on the front and the shoulder armor. So they should all line up so that there should not be a gap there. The gap or the seam line should look the same as it does on the front of the lid there. If I was going to be, harsh, but it was Friday and the techs had a couple of beers at lunchtime, so they didn't quite get it back together right.
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought that.
So that's good.
And I would have got rid of that, but
is that the same suit? So he may just have not used glue because a lot of these, they're snap builds as well. While he was manipulating it for the photo, it may have just wiggled loose. Tell me you guys don't do that too. When you're setting up Gunpla is so tricky for photo shoots, isn't it? If you haven't fixed your pose.
Yeah.
And you look at the photo and you go, the arm's like falling down, or especially
it could have been the lighting too.
Yeah.
I think it looks like maybe there is a little bit of gap there, but it's better lit in this photo. But yeah, I know what you mean. Could also be magnetized. Maybe the magnet's like not lined up.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, but you don't know.
I'm curious if I can ask to Josh. How would I think? Credit where it's due. You're very good at improving kits and designs. What would you put onto something like this, or if you needed to do a relatively simple upgrade for say the grey one? It seems to be less detailed. What kind of things might you add to it? Does anything strike you off the top of your head that you might like to put on it?
Yeah, it's hard to say because, of course, my standard thing is doing little chisel notches and panel lines and stuff. But part of the marquee thing is that it's all these single pieces that are all like molded and stuff. So I wouldn't want to do that. I'd probably put just like that little horizontal line above the little blue decal. I might put a few of those in around the edges of the armor. So that'd probably be it. Maybe a couple fins, like little teeny tiny like aircraft little fins on like the top of the head or something.
I get you.
But no, it would just be tiny details like that because the form of the maquette is meant to be all molded like that. So, yeah.
See, that's why you're so good. You get it. That's a design eye. Yeah.
Because it doesn't, panel lines on the maquette don't seem to make as much sense as it would on a Gunpla. Yeah.
I was just going to shout out to Jim because I know he did a video on this, but I don't know if there's any photos of it. But I was just thinking, like if you were to go ahead and like scribe this all up like it was like a Gundam kit, like scribing the top of the head, like sort of similar to how you see sometimes people scribing the top of the Zigok head, like for example, similar shape. But yeah, it would look, I don't know if you could do it in a way that it would look good, or if there's just kind of no way to make it look good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You mean you say it's not looking good?
I mean, if you were to scribe a bunch of panel lines in here like you normally would for a Gundam kit, like we were talking about.
Sure.
you might want to do like if you did like little panel line details, they'd be around the perimeter of all the armor so that you keep the base kind of blank space. Or you might want to do like a little bit of recess chiseling where you like scrape out kind of like little channels, maybe along the edges of things. So it's not really a panel line or anything. It's just like a little bit of form change. Yeah, that might be what you could do. Yeah.
Actually, it's funny you say that, Josh, because that's exactly what I thought and felt worked. And because nobody spotted it, I'm hoping that it blended in. I went with the removal technique to add some recessed details on the White Knight kit that I finished recently. And it was all because of being inspired by, the cross training with Gunpla. You can't help but, you can't not see that kind of work, right? You think, what if I added something like this in? Instead of making it an outie, make it an innie. And do you remember those cool tools we were looking at in Shizuoka, Zach? The
spin blades?
Spin blades, that was it. Yeah. Thank you. It was really fun.
Yeah.
What are the spin blades? I want to know now. What
for making a circular detail.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And
cool.
Would there be like a spinning chisel? Would that be something to call
kind
it?
Of,
because
yeah.
Instead of when you use the drill bit and it leaves the kind of dome shape at the bottom. These ones, it goes in perfectly flat on the bottom, which makes it look like and it was quite sharp, etc.
It's cool too that it had the new version of the tool had the little pin at the very center as well too. It helps to center it, but then also helps if you wanted to do like a 3 millimeter hole and then like a 2 millimeter hole side there, or you can line it up perfectly because it's got the pin right in the center. So
do you want me to drop in a photo of what that looks like? Because that's exactly what I did. Or does it ruin the show? Does it?
Yeah.
It probably ruins the show, doesn't it?
Half the show usually ends up just being us going on tangents and stuff. Anyway.
Okay.
Not sure if there's going to be a good here you can kind of see a demo photo here from God Hand.
Yeah, that's it.
China, like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, so nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Because it is hard with the drill bit because you get that cone at the bottom. As they show there. Yeah.
Yep. So very cool. Let's take a look at another one here, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's move on here.
Half an hour.
And because
number 2,
this is modeler Link.
This
Naka,
is. I'm sorry, I don't know.
But
and then when I meet him, he'll be really upset.
Wouldn't it be? Just reading the kanji is Naka something. Wouldn't it be?
Nakamura.
There you go.
No, but it's Tamura-san, because that's Ricefield. Tanimura? Tamura kana? San. This
is out there, isn't it?
Like that.
What's that say?
This is the Altair, isn't it? Is it not Link?
Well, it's one of the Grosserhunds. I can't see the backpack. And you'll laugh. Out of all of the Maschinen Krieger stuff, I've never made the any of the Grosserhunds.
Really?
I just happened to be sidetracked when each time they were released, and I think there's like maybe 5 releases of them. I still have not made one, and it's one of my favorites.
Interesting.
So I'm crying about it still.
Why don't we make some together, Link? Because I've got one sitting at home that I've been eyeballing.
How many spoilers can I release?
It's up to you.
Okay. So I'm going to do that. That will be the second of the MOOCs I'm making with Yokoyama-san. Will be a series. MOOC, the Japanese book magazine thing. MOOC. And the second one will be based on the Grosserhund series.
Oh, really?
But you can make one.
A whole bunch of them.
Yeah. I've got 5 on the way so far. The 5th one is coming out like now. That wasn't meant to be a sales plug. I feel like Harrison Ford selling Raiders of the Lost Ark version 23. But number 5, the Dachshund one. It's got the long face.
Yeah.
It's coming.
That's also a rainbow egg kit, right?
No, it was recent. So it's like Hasegawa said, "Hey, how did that sell?" Cool.
Oh, is it Hasegawa?
So Hasegawa's released it as a plastic kit, and it was literally, like you say, a couple of months, right? After Rainbow Egg kitted it.
I think I remember. Yeah, I remember seeing something about that kit coming out recently. I just couldn't remember if it was.
It wasn't long ago, right? That's what I thought. It seemed like a bit of a. I hope Kato-san. Well, I shouldn't go into that, should I? The figure's beautifully painted, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see
I
what
love
she's got.
The decals there.
Don't you love how the gloss effects of the face contrast so well against the matte armor of the worn suit?
Yeah, is that lettering decals? The big lettering?
Like, it must be. It's so sharp.
So sharp. How cool,
so
man.
Sharp.
How cool are letters? They're just letters. And I'm like, damn, letters are rad.
Yeah.
That's
this artist, what would you say? Graphic artist, who's that? What do you think, Josh? See the way he's got the double stripes on the suit's right. The suit's right. The robot's right arm.
Oh, the right arm. Yeah.
Totally a graphic designer approach, isn't it?
Yeah. It's cool. I don't know why an extra little thin band makes it seem better than just if it was that wristband. Yeah, it's a slight gradation, but it's just a line. It's nice.
And look at the see the external. What do we call that? The border painted around the ID band as well.
Oh, yep.
Gosh, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Same thing on the
about that
piece.
To do a detail like that, how it's got like a really thin line of like dark red on the edge of the red part. Basically, you paint the dark red first and then paint the lighter red over that, leaving a little bit left over. Is that how you would go about doing that, Link?
Well, it's never fixed. And please, I never want to be. How do I say that? I'm. The more I've spoken in public since being released from my box, I've realized I need to be careful about saying it because often I'll have feedback like. Because I have spoken in the past in a matter-of-fact way, that you think you know everything because you say it like it's simple. So I'm careful now about, I just want to preface that, like little disclaimers on everything I say. Link is really an idiot. Don't believe him. But if I were required to do it, I would have gone with I would have probably airbrushed on the dark color. And then, you know the technique using a lighter paint, and it's called, some people call it mapping. No. The armor modelers call it mapping, and artists just call it painting. I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh at stuff like that.
Yet I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. What do you mean?
Okay, so I'm all boned up on everything because I'm actually writing an FAQ book. So I have to kind of explain things by contrast to saying, okay, well, in this genre they say this, in this genre we say this, but we're all talking about the same stuff. It's kind of like how in Gunpla we call it panel lining. Other disciplines call it a panel line wash. Other people then call it a pin wash, that kind of thing. Okay, but because there's a lot that are unique to each genre. So mapping is, you guys have watched Bob Ross, of course, I guess. Yeah. The you know how old Bobby, he stipples in, he'll lay a base shadow color in first, and then he'll stipple up the highlights to give it that apparent depth.
Okay, yeah.
The highlighting.
And, he always works from a dark ground and then paints highlights up. He not as often. He usually doesn't paint down, if that makes sense. He doesn't paint down through the colors. He paints up. So the mapping is something that armor modelers, some clever person kind of yoinked it from regular art and said, okay, you paint something one color first, and then you tend to paint lighter versions of it upwards. Some people will call it rendering. Some people will call it painting. There's a handful of ways for it, but it's basically it's the same process. There's only so many things we can do. It's all the same. Just we put new names on it. But so I would have airbrushed the darker ones and then just carefully stippled in lighter versions of the paint in there to give it that varied effect. Sorry that was a ridiculously long, stupid answer.
That's okay.
That's good.
But, no, yeah, I was wondering how airbrush would be easier to get these really sharp edges for that smaller line. It'd be kind of hard to do that. To have it so straight, right? Hand painting that entirely.
Yeah.
Well, have a look at the see the grain plate that's behind the young lady's head. Yeah. See how that one has quite a nice variation to it. So it was looking at that one that made me think, okay, she has painted up to that line. And actually, if I look at this one really closely now, we can see that line across there. You see it's got a couple of like little thicker parts that give it some character.
Yeah.
If we look down that piece to the left, just below her eye line, about her nose line, see how it's got that darker spot in there? I would suspect that some of that could actually be the base color.
Some just like dark mahogany something?
Yeah. The I want to... It feels like wrong to say it, but I always want to drop examples in. So like on the most recent version of a full care I've done, the ID band is actually hand painted, but it probably doesn't look it. I don't know where to find a picture of that either. But it's a blue, and it's a blue sharp. Light. Yeah, it's very sharp, and it's because I painted up to a line carefully. It actually can be done, and it will look.
Yeah.
Not so much hand. It won't look airbrushed, but it takes the edge off to look to sit better. Sometimes too sharp doesn't work. It works with Gunpla because our scale is so small, like 1/100. So it looks perfect. But once you get up to these bigger scales, sometimes too sharp. You know what I mean, Josh? Sometimes too strong a delineation between the colors makes it feel too hard. And But it totally works in Gunpla because we want it to look sharp and crisp. Am I digging holes here when I talk? I'm not sure.
No, but I wonder if I asked you about
this before. The internet.
Maybe I talked to you about this before, Link. I had seen a video on Max's Facebook. Max posted a video while he was painting some. Did I talk to you about that? About painting the straight line?
I remember both. I remember us talking about it. I remember Max sharing it. Yeah.
It was on, what kit was that?
I think it was either a Cults or Fliege. It was one of the Strauss suits with the broad back. With
it's like the grays and yellows, the gray, white, and yellow color scheme. Yes. Yeah. Painting like with the brush, you paint like one line to get like that straight line along the edge of the brush stroke, and then like using like the flat end of the brush to like go at it like strokes like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to show or demonstrate, but just using the flat end of the brush as the straight line, and then just pulling away from there. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
This what suits this? It's so good.
So this is a resin. It's a resin upgrade for the plastic one from Hasegawa, and this is so cool, isn't it? Because it's got so much volume on the back.
It's very bulbous.
Today's word, children, bulbous.
There you go.
To be matched with glistening.
It's got a nice glisten on there too. It's a Love Garden kit, right?
Yeah. This one's done by Heelsan. It's really cool.
So we were just
I hadn't seen that one before. It looks like it's like a rhino mixed with some kind of it looks I guess a rhino. Yeah, it's so cool. And how it's like got this menacing forward movement pose, but she's kind of like got this pose and was like, no, it's okay, calm down. Like he's about to charge. It's cool.
You guys are familiar with? I mean, Josh, are you a designer or artist by trade? I mean, you talk like you are, and your work strikes me that you must be. And I mean that in the best way possible.
No, yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay. You too, Zach. I instantly felt bad for leaving you out. But do you know? Of course, you know Geiger.
Yes.
Is it Giger or Geiger in English?
Geiger.
You know the guy, Alien.
Geiger. Yeah.
Doesn't this look like a Geiger-inspired version of the plastic kit? It's the bulbous and the extra parts on it.
Yeah, a bit like a bulbous queen head, queen body. Yep.
I think it's got an extra name like that because I'm not. I'll be really honest. I don't know how many versions of the resin ones they made. I think there was a Black Knight. I think one had the word queen in it. Now that you say it, because it totally looks like that, doesn't it? And Yokoyama-san's a big Geiger fan, so he'd often like giggle and go, "Okay, I'll do a Geiger version now."
Yeah, this one's cool.
I do want that one, but that's an expensive kit. I think it's about 280 yen because it's big. Yeah,
it seems like a lot of his more recent work, especially the figures and stuff, seem very Giger
Yes, on the left.
inspired.
this one, yeah.
On the left, yeah.
Yeah.
On the top left, yeah. Whoa.
Black Knight Plus. Like this is one of the more recent figures. It's done very.
Oh, yeah.
Seems kind of
The bizarre
Interesting.
ones.
Here you go. Black Knight plus Queen's Queensby Knight. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Oh. Damn, I like
What's
that.
this on the money?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's probably the most attractive of them. It must have been. I need to talk with the guys and get all of the story. I would imagine it just would have been from one of Yokoyama-san's sketches, but it really fleshed out the form of the White Knight.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like that one. I like the look of that one compared to a couple of the other ones. Like you said, there's a couple of variants I'm not really too into. A little bit too much for my personal taste. But.
Hey, listen, guys, if you want to buy some of these, could you just flick it back, please, Zach, to that page? Is it hard to get back? Just if you guys want to, if you wanted to, just if people are looking to buy them, I mean, you can, Love Garden, Mr. Takaki Hill-san, he does release them himself, but you can see the name coming up, WKB Models on Twitter. He runs a shop in Ikebukuro, so he's a legit person to buy these items from, and he's English capable.
Cool.
He's on Twitter, right?
Yeah, that's his Twitter handle is WKB. That's him, WKB Models on Twitter.
I'm sure I've seen
You're connected for sure.
WKB.
He's a shock.
There you go.
Yeah, that's him. So that's a legitimate place to buy these from.
Or if you are friends, or if you can just message Hughes on Facebook. I bought a couple of kits just from him directly.
Yes. Well, more of the guys, the interwebs is now allowing artists to sell directly. It's one of the best things that's come from it, right? So he has been setting up a shop.
I know a lot of Japanese artists, especially here on Twitter, I see them sharing stuff on Booth, which I guess is sort of like Japanese Etsy kind of.
Oh, okay.
Wow, I'm not familiar at all. Zach, I'm so sorry. I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Booth must be new.
You'll probably come across it at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, my connection to them was different. So, and it might even be new. I've actually been away from Japan full time for, I think, just over 4 years now. It's gone very quickly.
Wow.
The world has changed, yeah. This is a mashup. This is part of the other one, isn't it? The that other kit mashed with that Kyu-san was showing, I think. So what's going on the right arm there?
Yeah, it's Rapun, as I'm telling you, Rapun Custom. There you go. But yeah, this arm, that's like the smoke launchers from the Cruister.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know I've got the same thing right here next to me. That part, at least. I don't know, like, and these other bits just seem like just kind of an armor bit added on to just.
Yeah. Well, there's quite a bit of customized. Look at the shins. See how they've got that lip on the end above the foot? Yeah, that's new. It's interesting.
This little bit, because it's a couple little bits sticking off the front too, aren't stuck to that kit too, right?
No, that's all add-on.
Man, that texture on the white or the whatever is just insane. Like, I don't even know how you build up that kind of color. Wow.
Yes. 3 or 4 colors on there.
Yeah. So modeled. It's so even.
Here's some ones.
He's got a really good look, hasn't he? It's great. But his actual name, SSB, no problem. That's so cute.
This one?
Oh, that. Yeah.
That's
Genius,
people
isn't
from
it?
there. There you
Now
go.
I wonder, is this person must be a One Fest vendor, because the shots look like they're taken at One Fest. But don't you love how they're dressed like Battle of Britain pilots?
Yeah.
And that's so cute, isn't it? Is that a sloth in the middle?
I think an otter.
Okay.
I think these are both meant to be otters, I believe.
Okay, the otters. And do you like
Maybe.
do you like the Navy SEAL?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's genius, isn't it? Isn't that awesome?
With the little fish
And
in
I
the
just
belt.
think of
Yeah, he's got his lunchtime snack ready to go. That's gold. What does it say? They got little names. Tong?
oh man.
Yeah.
Tonkatsu.
Oh, that's gold. Isn't that cool? They've all got stuff in their pockets too, like sausages and. Has he got like a little dog?
Cat.
Yeah.
Dog, yeah.
Only this one
Oh.
doesn't seem to have anything. But
Yeah, that's why it's got the shell, because they like crack them open on their chest or something.
Right. That's so cute.
Oh hell. Oh man.
these are
And
cool.
he's totally. Oh, she's nailed the stereotype there, hasn't she? And has she got like the is that the old turkey neck? That looks like it's been put in, hasn't it? Yeah.
It's supposed to be a scarf, isn't it?
Oh.
Dang. No, I don't know. It's a weird scarf.
It's
It
like
looks turkey neck.
It totally looks like and you could imagine, a lot of humor's gone into this sort of thing. She does look like a comedian that I remember seeing on TV there. It could be that. And the glasses the eyes painted on the glasses. It's gold, isn't it? This one's Yokoyama-san in the center. The guy on the left too. I wonder if this is. Yeah, right. He's in lots of photos. I wonder if he's the artist making these. Yeah, that's really cute.
Could be.
What's that on the ground? Is that
That's Yokoyama-san's cat, isn't it? That's Uran-chan.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I wonder what scale these were done at. That's really good.
They only look, 6
I don't think
centimeters.
they're very big. Yeah. Well, I'm wondering, just based on the shape of the suit in the background, I wonder if it's one of the little 176 resin ones.
Or one of the capsule kits. Isn't there?
It's not the set. The shape of the. I know these all look the same, but when you've looked at them a million times, you can read them very quickly. So the capsule one just has a different head.
Yeah. This one, that's kind of a little bit different angle of this one, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
like.
And the sensor suite on the nose is a bit of a different shape. I think it might be the 176 one by Tembo Kisa.
There you go. All right. Tana.
Oh,
Tana Motors.
Tana-san. Yes. I know Tana-san. Hi, Tana-san. That's right. Now that figure is custom.
These first here. I like this one.
That's cute. Yeah.
This one, what do you reckon that is? Because that's definitely too small to be one of the capsule kits, too. So
Again, I think it might be that 176
yeah.
and being held by a 1/20th scale figure, I think.
I think the figure might be larger. It might be 1/12.
Yeah.
I think there's a 1/12 version of that, too.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not super tiny, but still, the actual suit there has got to be pretty small.
And the gag is that they've made it look like a soft vinyl kit. Can you see the way the seam lines sit on the legs?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a gag to make it look like a soft B kit toy.
No way. I thought those were the actual seam lines on it. Wow.
You
I
thought
might
he was
be
just
reading.
Josh?
Yeah, I might be reading too much into it. But see how you can see they've been painted. I mean, with this attention to detail, I'm not. I don't know. I could be giving them a free get out of jail card. I don't know. But that would be the gag, I would suspect. It's
that's probably a good guess. I wouldn't have thought of that. I was in the pool with Josh. I would have thought that that's just kind of lazy with the seam line. But you're probably right on that link.
I've spent a little bit too much of my life wasting it on stupid things like this. So,
but also, what builder like this would, even on something that small, not just scrape those lines off?
Yeah.
So yeah.
These, they got to be capsules, right? Because they got the bottom part. That's the thing that's included with all the capsule kits, that little bottom section.
is it? I've got a couple of boxes and I haven't opened them yet. I'm so sorry to not know that one.
But then again,
I just want to come across as fallible and not knowing things. No, but really, I don't know. Is that the base that comes in them?
yeah.
Oh, yes.
I think wait a minute. That is the clear part. It's that weird bent thing at the back, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's this.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm pretty. Yeah, I think you're right. Because I remember seeing that. Yeah, the angle of the clear part is really unique. But they come with a little base like that, do they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, you got the final too. Now there's one we can do a group build on. Finally, we have the same thing.
Yeah. Of course, had to get that. It doesn't matter how many I have over there in a drawer. It's the last one. I had to pick up a set of that too.
Got to say, the Arrested Development Real Estate Agent. It's because you bought it, so you have it.
Yes.
I just love that line. I was watching it yesterday. You have it. This is really cool, isn't it? The little Mars wagon thingy.
I don't think I've ever seen this before. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's just all scratched.
I'm suspicious. I think what it is I think it might be either. Again, I'll show how much I don't know. The purists will be complaining in the chat afterwards. So sorry, guys. I think it might be a riff on the skimmer version, but put to wheels. There's a really old kit that Yokoyama-san made back in the day that was it was just using old sprues and stuff. See how the top it looks like runners, the sort of cabling structure framework. Yeah. But it was a skimmer, a hover vehicle, and I think this is perhaps a slightly modified version of that, but put to wheels. The guys really like doing that because that's what it looks like. It's very clever. And it's kept that 80s look, hasn't it? It looks, 80s.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We were talking about that maybe in the last episode or something, Josh, where we were talking about the lighting of the photo made it look like an old magazine photo.
Yeah, exactly. Old product shot of toy photos.
It's got a little bit of that. Like the lighting's a little bit too harsh for what we would probably do these days.
What's it? And is it picking up that little tea kettle? Is that what it's doing?
It looks like that or something.
We have made this giant remote controlled robot to pick up a tea kettle.
Because the handle's just a little bit hot. We left it on the fire a bit.
I mean, and how are you going to make your cup ramen without some hot water?
Yeah.
Look at the gas mask. The face mask design is interesting to me. It's quite different, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And just back to the first one here.
So what do you think, Josh? See how the suit's left arm, our right? Why is it twisted that way? It's like open-handed. It's going like that rather than wait a minute, how do I get in the camera?
Yeah.
Our default resting pose is that the arm flicks over that way, but he's got it like hand up. I wonder why. Is he trying to gesture to something or? It's those why questions. I often have these, but I'm too embarrassed to ask in person. Why did you do this hand?
Well, that's the joy of when we come across this stuff on the show. We can ask these questions and we can know. Rest easy knowing we'll never have an answer.
And there's 99% chance that the artist is not watching it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Rest easy knowing we'll never know.
No.
I know, Tana-san. But the figure,
you can ask
though,
him.
I think it's a stock figure with the face has been changed. Because isn't this? I think because her expression's quite different. Or is it a full scratch? I mean, that would be awesome if it was. That's hard to do, man. Because her leg, see how her right leg is slightly off from the left one? I wonder if it's a full scratch. That would be amazing. Jeez. Yeah, these guys were really deep into it. Amazing skills.
Hey, where did the whole wood block base thing start? Anything about that?
Oh, you know, because you know the story, don't you?
No, actually I don't, but I love it, so I'm just curious.
Well, Josh, Yona, he's leading the witness. Now, really, Yokoyama-san was the first one I saw do it, but nobody else was doing anything with it. One of the places where the MAK Tenjikai, the main one now, because the first version kind of petered out, is at Mizunokuchi there. And it was at a pub. So I really disliked the people touching your models with greasy chicken finger hands. So just to keep their hands away from it, I started toting all of my models around at that time, put on the block, the wood base that was from Tokyo Hands was a 6x6, 60 millimeter cube. It seemed to gain momentum from that. Like, so I can't say it was me, because I did get the idea from Yokoyama-san, because he has one version like that in a book, and I was just desperate to protect my models from greasy fingers. So I went big with the block, and it's like stuff like hairspray. You know, the hairspray technique. The guy who invented it didn't get any name recognition for it, but the other people who went big with it, their name got attached to it. One of those sort of things. So I can't say I'm you know, the plinth has been around forever, but sure. I did go big with it, putting stuff on plinths.
You know what I find really super interesting
about that? I don't think
I
can claim it there.
Is that I just cut a bunch of these myself yesterday, or no, a couple days ago, and they're all 6x6 cubes. So that's really funny, the exact measurement that you mentioned.
Well, the 1/20th scale, it sits well.
Yeah.
Except the biggest ones, but the 1/20th one looks good for most of the normal colored suits, especially at that time. I was making the AFS suits, you know, the Halo Master Chief looking guys. I was just knocking them out, so it just came out in a volume.
Nice.
But yeah, 6x6. That's a good size for them. This one,
it's too small for even 144 scale Gunpla kits. Won't be able to be really used with this. So I figure I'll probably end up using most of these for either Machining Krieger stuff or Megami Device, kind of those Kodo kits and stuff. But yeah, I just cut a bunch of these the other day.
Nice. And I bet when you heard me say 60 mil, you're like, dude.
Yep. Yeah, it's like, hey.
It just seemed about right, and it was one of the default sizes. You know, Tokyo Hands, right? The craft store. It was just one of the. It was fast and easy.
Man, I've been looking, because that's the thing. That's why I ended up cutting a bunch, because I've been looking in, like, every time I go to like a Daiso or anything like that, I'm always on the lookout for anything that I can just buy like that. It's just really simple and cheap. But
we are those weirdos at Daiso, aren't we? This could be a base. This could be a base.
Yeah. Exactly. No, I cut like half 6x6, and the other ones, and the other half are 8 centimeters tall, so a little bit taller ones. So I have some variety. Yeah, that's cool.
And that'd be good for HG size 144.
It's too narrow. The actual platform is still 6x6, but even the taller ones, 8 centimeters tall. I mean,
Gunpla's hard to base, isn't it? Because we need such a correspondingly large base. Usually, because of the poses, that the bases would suck up a lot of space on our shelves, wouldn't they, if we sized them the same?
For cutting something like that.
You guys, look at me. You don't base Gunpla, Link, you noob.
I do. It's not done, but it's got a base. It's got to have a base.
Yeah.
Let's look at some works here from Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum.
Didn't know he was in the Machining Krieger. That's pretty cool.
Is he a couple player? I mean, is he like all kinds of player action with the capital player, or is it a religious thing? I'm not sure how that's working.
Yeah,
so I would translate that as capsule player.
Could be. Or maybe Kapul, like he's talking about Kapul, like the mobile suit Kapul.
Now this guy's the Gachanen version. See the shape of the feet? Just boom, capsule.
Yeah. But the whole interior must be modified. It doesn't have. I don't think so.
The early ones didn't have an interior, did they?
Yeah. If he had just made like the latch, like that's easy enough. But there's a lot more detail in there. I wonder.
Or
I don't think
wonder
the later versions had that.
But
it does. The latest version does have that. Sorry.
Isn't this one of the ones from the final? The third box that does have an interior? Because I think it says on the front of the box, this one has an interior, Zach.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one.
Right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I especially like the use of the grainy backdrop to scale the suit. Is it too soon to pick things like that?
No, never too soon. I love this. The red, the magenta, like blood red. Oh, it's so nice.
On the head there.
Yeah. To use like the head as a mega color accent as opposed to putting that like on one of the shoulders or something.
Same thing with that one with the white helmet.
Do you guys ever get surprised at the volume scale and how much difference it makes? Because when I look at the numbers, I think, okay, mathematically, 135 down from 120. But then when you see them physically like this, it's a really good shot. You kind of think, wow, it seems like half the volume or less, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because I always felt that with like 144 and 100. I'm like, oh man, it's 44 different. But no, it's so much difference.
It's so much different, isn't it? It surprises me every time. Maybe because I'm an idiot, but either way, every time I'm like, whoa. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting to see them both side by side. You don't often see them too, where you can really get a sense of that right next to each other.
Man, this is some cool stuff.
Momonai. Let's see here.
Interesting. That's a mashup. Yeah, that arm is cool.
Those huge feet.
Yeah, so Ammonite feet.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how he's put that one together because that's pretty cool. The arms like that look so different, don't they, on the normal suit? It really hunches it forward. Like, have you seen those modern versions, the new spacesuits? How they've got that kind of pose. Which company was making them? Was it Boeing? And the people, it ends up, they look like Space Marine Terminators. It kind of looks like that.
So are the arms normally back like a whole centimeter or so?
Yeah, they're seated back a bit, so he's really got it canted forward, so they're coming out of the front plate rather than the space in between them. Just aesthetically, that works really, really well.
This one's got to be the capsule kit as well too. It has to be.
No, it's 120.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a 120 version of this pilot, of this figure?
Yes. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Right. Just the Gatling gun part that's off the crate.
Yeah.
I'd say it looks like that version. They're the Ammonite feet. It's the Saf's body. Yeah. They're all 120. So I'm pretty sure Brickworks have made that one. It does look modified. I don't remember having that slanted standing though, which matches the suit very well, how she's leaning away. It's different, kind of cool. So he may have modified it. That might be what's making it look different. That's cool.
There you go. Now, this like particular camouflage pattern is something that I've usually only ever seen Max do. Is that something that he kind of started, or where's that from?
Dude, Josh.
Oh,
do you know the camo pattern?
Is it like the light green and the dark green, and then the circles as well? It's like octopus sort of camo or something.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I don't think I've seen this before, but it's cool.
So it's a riff off the Strahl, and especially if you're going with a cult, the face is off a cult or Melusine. So the what's the word? Inspiration comes from the larger tanks used by the Wehrmacht, the German military in World War II. So the King Tiger, this was a camouflage. I'm not a super expert. I wouldn't say 100% that it was only on the King Tiger, but it seems to be one of the King Tiger was one of their big deal tanks. It was very big and powerful. So swapping that across to this genre gives the, it's supposed to tie together. It's the big, powerful camo suit.
Okay.
But no, Yokoyama-san, he first used this camo on a suit for the, the Thank You series. Sankyu. Zach, have you seen them? So the old Melu scene. Okay. It was back when Yokoyama-san managed to get his hands on some of the old Nito molds, and he gave them to Wave to repop them. And so that's why he called it the Thank You very much series.
Okay.
Yeah. And that one. So yeah, Octopus Camo is what the nickname is. So yeah,
wow.
On the money, man. Yeah, you're all kinds of historical accuracy, bro.
I hadn't seen this suit before. This is cool.
Well, this is a mashup. So
it is.
This artist, it's the same, must be the same person, right? So he's taken some of the ammonite that was used previously. So that's the legs off that and the side armor and the upper hull, but then also mashed it up and taken some pieces off either a Cults or Melusine. The manipulator on the right hand is from a Grosserhund. So that's an expensive suit.
Yeah.
Unless he like magically, reused all of the parts on every other one, but this is that's really nice.
Yeah, just without wasting anything, just whatever you take away from this, you got to use on the other one.
Yeah. And it's got the massive form, the placement of the other stuff. It's really cool. I'd love to talk with this person in person. That came out wrong. I'd love to meet who it was and talk through what they were thinking. It's fantastic. Now that one is usually only available in single.
What does that mean? Available
genius.
In single?
Sorry, the previous one.
Previous one. Gotcha.
Yeah, the four-legged one. Yeah, see how it's got the double tandem cockpit. How cool is that? It gives it that, the hind helicopter sort of double bubble canopy deal, and they've somehow modded this one. I'm pretty sure it only comes with a single cockpit. So that's sweet.
Nice.
The ID bands. I'm totally stealing this.
There
you go. And I've said it out loud. There you go. I'm totally stealing this. See how it makes like a face on the front, like a grin?
Sure, totally, yeah.
That's like so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
So when you see that, and I used it again, I totally stole it from this show.
There you go.
Love it. Yeah, this one, it's a Grosserhund head, right? But putting it on the, which is usually a bipedal robot, hunter killer thingy, and he's got it, and he's made it into. It almost has the proportions of the Zoid, the gorilla Zoid thing, almost.
Oh, yeah.
Put together. So this person is so deep and so into it. This is fantastic.
That painting, it looks like the paint's been kind of like water dipped on the sides, like it's watercolored a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that before. Wow. Or like a lot of oil has seeped into the paint or something. If it was actually like a real machine.
That's handbrush lacquers.
Man.
It's one of the really cool things that you can do with them is you can get them to behave like watercolors, just a hell of a lot more toxic.
Yeah.
With fumes and all the bad stuff. But yeah, it's just one you can see it's beautifully done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really
so
sharp.
Now you guys can see I've got nothing original. I'm totally just ripping off these poor people all the time.
There you go.
What you
gotta
say
get on that. No, I was gonna say the that particular like kind of camo pattern.
Nice.
This like looks a lot sharper than how we usually see it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The edges of that and everything. Usually a lot more kind of blurred edges. And let's see if we can have. If we saw another one recently, you can kind of compare it to. But
okay, Now I know you guys don't look at my blog, but I've got an article up there. I just put it up on last Saturday, explaining the bokeh ashi effect. So I can't speak English and Japanese together. Yeah, it made me sound like one of those camera review guys. The bokeh ashi.
Yes.
I love them, but it's not their fault. They've not heard it pronounced. But when you watch camera shows on YouTube, and the camera people like to call it bokeh, or have you heard that for the blur?
Yeah. Bokeh.
They say bokeh as well, do they? Okay. And so bokeh means blur, and ashi is the the stretching of the thing.
Wait. Bokeh is Japanese?
Yeah. All this time.
Okay, so all photography, the blurry things in the background, that is a Japanese word.
Oh gosh, so the word bokeh is Japanese, 100%.
Yeah.
I guess, like I hope this doesn't come across as a self-plug. I just want to be helpful for people. And once I got over trying to sell myself, I mean, over the last 4 years, this is probably, we laugh, but I'm serious. Because I have a family and I was absolutely shitting bricks about what we were going to do, I probably came across the wrong way, and it wasn't me. But like I said, I was shitting bricks. Have you guys ever been shitting bricks with a family? It's so that was a thing. But now that I don't have to, I can be myself and cool and have fun. I hope that's how it comes across anyway. So bokeh ashi is probably a really cool thing for people to read and have fun. Can I drop a link into the show? Does it work?
Should into the chat?
Anyway, if you just go to paintonplastic.com, it's my most recent. Just go to blog. Don't click any of the other clickbait stuff. Don't touch that. Only go to the article, and I've got one up, and I explain how I learned about bokeh ashi. It's a nice little heartwarming story.
That's made me so happy just knowing where it's originally from, because I never knew.
And so don't do any of that. Don't click that ever. Like you just get a newsletter. Oh, look at that. That's nice work. Actually, from that photo, see the white knight? That was the shot I was actually trying to show you of the circular scribing thingies. Was that one? So that photo's done. Okay, so that one. See the top things like on the white, just before you see the internal of the cockpit. That was done with those round scribing cool things, and it was a double step down, and I felt so clever. I was like, "Ooh, I'm almost like Josh."
Oh, that looks nice. Okay, so this is the kind of details that work.
I think about your level of scribing all the time, and I think, what's a really cheap-ass way that I could get better at adding details without actually developing much skill? And this was totally one of those ways, because it was really easy to just scribe in. And it felt, after making a bunch of Gunpla, sometimes, I got to be careful saying this, sometimes I want to make the machining cricket kits a little bit more sexy. Anyway, but don't tell anyone that I said that.
Cool.
This one, so Yokoyama-san, he pinged me after this. He goes, "Dude, you forgot to say that I was the colorist." He goes, "Yes, this was the image we were talking about, because I'm the colorist for this one, dumbass." No, he's really polite. He didn't say that. He goes, yeah, that was my image. It was us talking about this. So see how the green patches are slightly blurred. So what we were talking about, then we immediately flicked it back to models and said, okay, how do we get this? And he said, well, you need to bokeh ashi. And if you keep going, scooch down. I've linked to a couple of other articles that show how to see. The one on the left is bokeh ashi nash. And this was one I experimented with in trying to, so that's bokeh ashi ari with bokeh ashi on the right. So the center's not blurred. It's only the kind of the outline, or even if we looked at it scientifically, the further we go out from the center, the more and more the blurring effect happens. I'm not sure if that came out clean, but that's kind of that one. That's one that I did with a paintbrush on a ridiculously small model that somebody gave me to do. And the second one, as you guys would expect, we can do it with the airbrush is the second one. So that's bokeh ashi done freehand style. And then if you scooch all the way to the bottom, we've got a cute Damboro, and that's bokeh that many of you may be aware of, that it's a photography bokeh. Okay, thank you. I feel so good. I've got the image, I've got the message out to the world. My mission is done.
There you go.
That looks nice, doesn't it? That guy's got skills.
Yeah, that does look nice.
Not too bad.
Bokeh ashi. That's what we want.
I haven't seen the skull dude on the top right. I haven't seen that before. That's terrifying. Imagine that thing coming at you. Oh.
That solid black on this one, and then on this one too. That solid black is just hurting my eyes, though, isn't it?
It's too much, right? Yeah.
A little too dark.
Yeah, way too dark.
Yeah, it's a little.
I love the gigantic blade on that one there.
I mean, what do you guys think? So halfway between. If this artist, like, I understand what they wanted to do, but probably if they made a mix of, see how the manipulator gray, the internal hatch gray. I mean, just for friends getting going with these things, working with a little bit more limited palette has some good reasons. I mean, you know what I'm saying, right, Josh? If we use too many things, it does. Like you said, it hurts your eyes. So, I mean, there's probably, what do you think? I'm guessing maybe 2 grays max might have been a little more comfortable to look at.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know.
Like if that canister was like a slightly darker gray than inside of the cockpit or something, that would have been fine.
Because what do you say? I'm seeing maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grays there. But what's odd to me is how beautiful the main body colors are. Like that, I don't know, what would we call that? It's like a grade off white, isn't it? And the rose, they're beautiful. I mean, that's the irony of it. I'm wondering how.
Oh, that's like a copper perimetering the rose. Yeah. That's nice.
Isn't it beautiful? And that background color. I think it's actually a really light brown, or it might be the way it's been filtered, but it's a really, really good color. So that always surprises me. And you see one thing done super well, and then did the artist have something in mind that I'm not understanding? Is then what I want to ask myself. Maybe they're a whole new level. I don't know. I'm noobing out. That's well done, isn't it? But again, I think that could benefit from a little bit of bokeh ashi. My pronunciation just absolutely goes to hell when I try to speak English and Japanese at the same time. But yeah, if that had been blurred just a little, it would sit so nicely. But may not be familiar with it, kind of thing. They're cute. So they must be the Gachapon base.
Yeah,
they
definitely.
Must be. I'm totally noobing out. I didn't know.
Yeah, definitely.
But this person's color feeling is really good. Like, look at the brown one in the middle. Gosh, that's nice.
This one I like really a lot too.
Yeah. Wow, and this is all by the same artist?
Wow.
Yeah, reflecting in the light there in the center, doesn't it? It totally sells the armor, doesn't it? But they forgot to paint the back of the shoulder there.
Yeah. There you go.
Dude, you were so close. You were so close. I'm so sorry to point that out. But
we're doing them a service, that we're making their life better. Now they know the shame they need to feel.
Yes.
Endlessly.
Well, the thing is, right, you can totally get away with it. I was talking with Naoki-san about this. You can totally get away with it. Every model's got a back, especially if you're in a hurry and you just need the photos done. But never take a photo of it. You can never show it to the world, though. Hide it. Hide it.
Yep.
Must be hidden.
Oh, that's funny.
Naoki-san's infamous in Japan for having the back all over his models. He goes, no, you can only take the photos from here and here. No other angles.
When we were at Shizuoka that time, and the Godhand, not Godhand, the
Gaia note stand, remember?
He was showing us Naoki's model.
Yes.
He was talking about that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yazawa-san. That was funny.
He was showing us Naoki's build that was there of the full armor Gundam. He was showing how like on the back side and like under the skirts and stuff, it was just like nothing there.
What?
Can you imagine the obligation? See, Naoki-san is Japanese. So he can't pretend to not know what obligation means. So the poor guy, because
Wow, that's fantastic.
They don't have the same barrier as to asking him for favors. So, and because he's got that tie-up with Gaia Notes, right? So it's pretty easy for them to say, hey, could you knock out a demo for us, bro? Poor guy. Dude, how cool is that yellow-brown camo, the yellow OD?
That's crazy. I don't know what to think of it.
Doesn't
it's
it?
So
the
striking.
Color matches up so well.
Strangely,
Yeah, no, it does match. Yeah.
Really weird.
In ultimate harshness, though, I think that was a sheer ass move. Because the yellow in the Panzerfaust, how that's been applied and how it doesn't match anything else.
Yeah.
So that's one of those ones where somebody's got really lucky because it looks like it's been washed too, doesn't it? The OD, the darker color, it's had something slapped over the top, and that's just turned out magic. Yeah, I love it.
It almost looks like he used some kind of pigment.
You think?
Something, or just to do like the kind of like weathering kind of shading on there.
It looks like it's been attacked with known oil. You know that Games Workshop product? Could be that one.
Yeah. That's what's throwing me off. Is it's so where the green meets the yellow is brighter just where it meets the green, which makes this contrast line. And that's what you're saying. It's because it's been weathered afterwards. Yeah. So it's like it's been like inverted or negative in Photoshop.
Yes, it does. It does. It totally looks like a filter of like a negative one. And the best way to get out of painting a figure is to ruin your canopy.
There you go.
Done. Figure painting solved. But I love it. I'd love to ask him what the wash was. So I would totally yoink this. That's so yoinkable, isn't it? Does yoink translate? Yoink?
No, yeah, I know it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really hard to even like concentrate my eyes to figure out what colors I'm looking at there. It's so negative is like exactly that's just the right word for it. Yeah. Man.
But it turned out great. And then that yellow, dude, just don't.
Yeah. I love it. No, stop. No, yeah.
There's some more yellow.
Oh, there you go. You got a full yellow.
There's your full. So the boner in this pic. Sorry, that came out.
Wow.
But yeah, Josh went well. You went there. That's the color. I'd say it was. It looks like Tamiya Daculo, I think.
Oh, it's such a terrible color.
But when it was washed, though, it looked so awesome. And then that happened. Yeah, I really regret making those boner comments now after seeing this. Because I didn't realize it was a before and after thing.
It was that's it. It's a sequence. Yeah.
I ruined that, didn't I? That's ruined it for somebody out there. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to ruin the interwebs. Because the interwebs has no pornography.
None.
Of course not. Oh, Josh, you're talking about the skull. Here's the skull one there for you.
Oh, yeah, cool. Oh, the big skull. I think I would have seen the big skull one.
That's cool. Yeah, this guy. Much style. Such excite.
That took me so long to see the skull. Oh my gosh.
What?
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. No, because there's another one in one of the other
photos.
What a
cool application, right?
It's medium, but not full.
That's cool.
Was there another one? Oh yeah, that one
there in the back. So that's what I was looking for. Was another one of those.
Oh, look at this green color combo. That so is forest. Wicked good. Yeah, so foresty. Like a forest ever looks like that in Queensland. Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
We ever get to see these natural colors. I've noticed friends from Southeast Asia just have such a totally different take on green because of the lushness of it there. It's wonderful, isn't it? So these are all gachapon. These are all 135s.
How tall is 135? How many centimeters you reckon?
So they'd be about yay big.
Yeah.
What's that? 7?
5, 6,
about 3/4 of Luke Skywalker.
So tiny. Wow.
So if I have a Wampa for scale, they would be about that big.
Oh yeah.
That didn't help at all, did it?
Everybody's got this exact Wampa at home, so they'll just go that.
The thing is, it's not even mine. Tom Ware saw this in a shop and had to have it. So you can see how I got married was because my wife obviously has the most bizarro world taste. There we go. Wampa and me.
This skull, I
loved it.
Amazed at how they refrain from painting those dark eyes and mouth darker. They refrain. Like they must have painted darker and then they've washed it over. But I would have thought, no, I've done too much light wash over the top of this, but it's good because it's subtle.
If I do it darker, Josh will see it.
Ooh, and
that's what it was. Hey, Josh, check out the 4.
The 4? Oh, the 4 on the red 4.
Look how I say he, she because there's only a couple of ladies I know that make them she. And look at the P again. Graphic artist. Because look at the mismatch and the way they've messed with the iconography, but it works. It totally works. This person has mad skills.
It's nice.
Yeah, I love that. So I can't do it. My little OCD thing. Yokoyama-san will be not pleased. I must put it on correctly. I represent the genre.
The genre.
I represent the genre. I must do it correctly. Yeah, it's just my thing. Damn it! I wish I could be cool like these people.
Cool and not care. Oh man, so cool. Wow.
But I can do it with Gunpla to a point. Yep. But the more people learn me about the Gunplas, I can do it less and less. Ruining me. Yeah, I love it. This person's style is wonderful. Yeah, isn't it great? Use of color and their originality within keeping it like canonic. Is it pronounced canonically? Canonically? Or keeping it legit? The person has really played with color, such the color that Yokoyama-san and the studio people never use. That green is killer. Yeah, I love it.
Hey, Link, here's another like actual modeling question for you. I wanted to ask
wait a minute. I know this person. I know the style. This is Ama-san. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Look how nice it is.
It's so soft.
So soft. And it's almost ready. Boyaketeru is the verb, isn't it? But look at all the cool mods. What size is this? Because that shape is different. I reckon either it's a full scratch or he's made that off an actual, the Hughes 500 helicopter body. I think, because look how well it's the old kits are very straight because they're made off like 1980s kits. But look how it's quite bulbous. It's shaped better. That's nice. Yeah, that's so cool. And the finish is, all kinds of armor modeling at its best sort of feels. See how the camouflage is boketeru?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, this
very
is cool.
soft. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Ama-san. I love his style. His work is fantastic. And the colors. See how the yellow doesn't make you want to throw up?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that was harsh, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah,
Here?
so see the dark, both actually, it's the same color when you look at them. The dark yellow he's used across different places, beautifully meshed in to blend with the other ones.
Rusty exhaust. Oh.
Yeah, isn't that's mad dirty porn right there. Sorry, prime.
Here in the center there.
Yeah. Isn't that's wicked cool. This must be large scale. I think there were some larger scale kits floating around, like resin ones. I think it must be. And I want to believe that to make me feel better about my own work. I think it might be a big scale kit. Isn't it cool? Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. See, they're the kind of panel lines. I think that's what you were talking along those lines, I think, Josh, when you see how it's around to the periphery, like you were saying. If we could go back, so if you could scooch it back one photo, please. Yeah, and see, it's got the panel line at the bottommost part of the photo. They're the panel lines.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. That kind of and that one, that small detail there. That's exactly. Is that what you were?
That's what I was meaning. Yeah. You wouldn't want to put much in the middle at all.
So can I send you a kit to do small panel line magic on it for me, please?
I can try one. Send me a couple pieces of armor. Yeah.
I was just doing that on this piece for
the. Load up the top. Send a bunch of stuff to Josh.
What's the name of that tool for?
The Edge Dude. Yeah, Edge Dude. BMC Edge Dude.
What is it called? No, it's what's the name of that? I was just using that on this piece on the Cooster today.
I'm old. Cool. I can forget stuff. You guys shouldn't be forgetting things now. It gets worse.
I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, it's such a nice tool.
No, I keep thinking Damboro, but that's not that. Something like that.
I really wasn't kidding. I would really like
Damo.
I'd be so happy.
Damo, there it is. Thank you.
Josh's take on a couple of, the more blank ones and just adding a couple of things, because I've never seen it done by a Gunpla Design Pro. before. When I've seen Nelke try a couple of machining cricket kits, but he went hard on him. It wasn't. So it was different.
DANMO, Danmo.
Oh, I had it backwards.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see what one would turn out if I did my detailing, because it would be a big practice in refraint, for sure.
One of these, Link.
Oh, what's that? Wow, that's new to me.
Man.
I instinctively want
a
this.
blade with a little corner cut out of it. You just drag it along the edge there and describes the edge.
Oh man, so for putting, all these clamshell, do we call it clamshell? You put the two halves together, everything's a half. How cool is that? It then becomes a detail.
Feature. And it works really well on circle edges as well.
I totally want this. Yes, that's must.
What's this? The part that goes here on the side where the leg is plugged into.
Oh yeah.
Let me do that. There you go.
Oh, but we lost Zach for a sec there.
I thought Zach rage quit.
This part here that goes on the side.
Yeah.
It kind of fit on there. Fit on there so that it seems like it's supposed to be like a flush fit, and so I was thinking, should I just glue that on and get rid of the seam line? But what I thought what to do is just turn that into just a kind of pinot line.
Don't you love when you go between genre that we have no clue, and we're too lazy to look? But don't you love how we have no clue what's a seam line and what's a detail?
Yeah, totally.
It totally happens all the time. And then someone says, "You left a lot of seam lines there." Do I? I've got a jegging put together, but I've got no idea. Are they seam lines or details? Right. I'm going with detail. But you can actually just glue that on, Zach. That is a detail. That they are supposed to be slightly proud. But you could totally scribe down the inner part. That would kill. Yeah.
You can't see it now, but it'll look like having an edge kind of like that around that circular part.
But on the armor plates, that would look nifty too, wouldn't it? Do you think that would be hard to keep it regular? I mean, you could.
Yeah. It's pretty
cool.
Easy to use.
Oh man!
Best customer ever. Thank you.
There you go. Easy cuts. We'll look at a couple more, and we need to wrap up pretty soon, Link. Just give you a heads up on our timing here. So it's a big collection.
Have we been helpful for anyone? I hope so. I mean, I've been helpful. You guys are always helpful. But
we've had fun, and I don't care what anybody else gets from this.
See, don't you? Don't you love? It's funny because don't you love that this person was thinking exactly that? They've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just doing stuff. Okay, I'm doing this time. Love that. So jealous.
Putting a bonefish. Oh, man.
Oh, this black and white camo one.
What is that? Yes.
I'm going to do the Jesus fish on a suit. Boom! Black and white. There we go.
Is the fish icon from the universe that I don't know? Not really.
It's used a lot, but it doesn't really have a solid particular meaning.
Okay, yeah.
But it first appeared, I think, on the raccoon suit. So it's usually for a stealth thing. So over the years, as they got reused, they kind of became thematic to have more meaning. But it's just like Gundam. It's it's an historical document from the future. Yeah. So the more times we travel to the future and learn from them, we can come back and provide more accurate feedback.
Oh, here's a fitting one.
That's nice, isn't it? Don't you love the softness of the airbrush? I guarantee you this guy is a Gunpla legend. Wait a minute. Neko Mirai, Future Catman. Actually, I think I do know his Gunpla work. Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
Soft touch.
How different is this from all the ones we've looked at with so much harsh angles and the exposed internals? It's such a different aesthetic.
Josh, this is the kit that I'm working on right now. It's a version.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I recognize it now. Yeah.
Is this just a Crot, or what version is this, Link?
So that one, see the it's got a low velocity. It sounds bad when I answer questions like this. People expect I should know more. but it's a low velocity cannon on the front there. So it's a so no, pack is the big gun, I think, but so it's the low velocity one. I can't remember what it's called. Sorry, but that's what it is. It's a low low velocity cannon on the front.
And is this pure mecha, or is there a pilot inside this?
AI. This one's an AI mecha.
AI. Okay. Yeah.
I love
got quite a few modifications too, like the extra armor. You spotted it too.
Just this plate over the vent on the back. Yeah.
It's just a piece of plastic, and it looks great.
It's got a cool thickness. How did they make it look right? Is it just because of the reddish tone to it, or it looks good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And the radar blade on the top, is that from that kit, or is that added on? I don't remember that having that.
Some of these, the other versions do have that one.
Okay.
This one, I think that one came out 2007 or 8. I think was the last time it came out. Because pack means large cannon. What is the low velocity one called on German tanks? You have to know lots of silly things.
It's really nice. Yeah. It's really nice, just change of pace. Something different. Not the usual kind of painting style we see again and again.
The legs on this guy, I remember when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, the legs are backwards. What's going on? Did you guys think that, and then eventually your taste just morphed, or do you still think that? Or mainly the feet, probably, yeah. What do you think? Or are you just fine with it now?
No, I get it. They look backwards, don't they? When you first look, you imagine it's going to walk the other way. Yeah. It's a bit of a gag because it's a gag because people keep. Yokoyama-san enjoys trolling people.
Yes, cool.
Nice.
Nice.
So a lot of the stuff, it's very tongue-in-cheek. So when he loves it when people take it too seriously and get bent out of shape.
Cool.
Like we would. So it's meant to be like that one. And in fact, there was last year I did a Maschinen Krieger contest, and we did have a participant who got a little bit upset about it, and went on to explain in great detail how everybody was wrong and that Yokoyama-san needed a lecture. And it was, I think the video was, I didn't watch it. The video was supposed to be, friends told me, it's like an hour long. How he went.
He made a video response.
He made a video response about how it was. The design is fundamentally wrong, but without actually, see, Josh asked the question in such a way to elicit the correct response, right? It's like, well, actually, it's a gag. He's trolling people. Yes, they're totally backwards. That's the gag.
That's great.
Because they're meant to be fun. So
yep.
But you are right. I have been so indoctrinated by the normal one that it does actually now look correct to me.
It's normal too. That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
It does after a while, oddly enough. But I get it, of course. Just structurally, of course, it would walk the other way.
Here, Josh, you can see what I was talking about, the vent underneath the plate there on the back.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, covering up some details with blankness. But then you get a little hint of a detail. Yeah.
Do you think it's the thickness of the pla plate that gives it the weight? Because it's pretty thick. It just looks really good.
What I think would probably help too. I mean, it looks very perfectly flat, but I guess if you wanted it to look more realistic, if it had like a little bit of like a bent corner or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make it look more kind of real world.
Yes.
Make it out of brass, right? A brass plate and beat it up.
That was the other thing that I wanted to ask you, Link, is about painting brass rods. Because I found that paint just scratches off the brass rod really easily. And I even tried filing and sanding the brass as well too, to see if that will make the paint stick better, and it doesn't usually work.
That's a really good question. And this is the part of the show where I come on and pimp my book, right?
Please.
No, but
your book of painting on brass, 300 pages.
Painting brass. Yeah. Well, it's because it's so up in my mind. I can't help but keep laughing. I wrote about that bit. That was day 23. But not all the primers we have for plastic models contain a metal primer. But that's why the Tamiya one's so good. And they're not specific to mention it, most of them as well. because they think we're only going to be using it for resin and plastic. But what you need, though, is you need one that specifically has a metal etching component.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't know either. So that's why the Tamiya one is my favorite all-rounder. Do you know the Tamiya Fine Spray, the gray one? That has a metal etching component as well. That's probably the best. That's the best one I can give you. But otherwise, brass does scrape off because it's shiny and smooth.
Okay, just the rattle can one.
Yeah, the rattle can one.
Okay, I do.
But one thing you might be able to do too, if it becomes too exposed, if you're going for something that weathering will match, it won't look good on all Gunpla, but other stuff is use the burnishing fluid. Well, burnishing fluid's a thing. Yeah. If you look that up, you can buy it in jewelry stores. You don't have to get the modeling made ones because you pay an extra tax on that. But if you go into a place that sells the products for making jewelry, I think the people that work with silver use burnishing fluid a lot. I think I'm calling it the right name. It's a bluish looking thing. That
I just looked it up and it looks like AK makes some, so it's called metal burnishing fluid. So yeah.
Yeah. They sell the same stuff in other stores and it's cheaper.
Okay.
But I
indeed.
I can't speak ill of my overlords.
What?
No, they're pretty cool, but it's just sometimes it's hard to get that stuff. And like we had to show ID to buy that in Japan because it's toxic. It's difficult to get. But Spanish companies send it through the mail. It's pretty funny.
What about the Mr. Color version? I know they make like Mr. Metal primer or something like that.
The red label one, or
yeah.
Of course they work as well. Yeah. But it's just, hey guys. So it just needs a metal etching component.
Cool. All right, I'm going to cut us off before we get into another topic here. We need to wrap up the show for today. We can chat a little bit more, but for the show, we're going to wrap it up for today. Thank you, Link.
Thank you very much, guys. Sorry it took an hour and a half, and we were only moderately funny. Well, those guys were good.
Always. I just love hearing all these kind of like backstories. I told you this after like our very first interview way back when, that I really love hearing all of these kind of stories about how different stuff started and where all this stuff came from, things like that. So really
just as a heads up, I actually have new stories too.
Okay.
Really. I just want to make mention of it because Zoom has really taken off. I know how horrible the pandemic has been. I'm being it's horrible, but it's helped other things like being back in contact with my friends in Japan because they're all doing Zoom meetings too. So the 1980s version of Japan modeling has actually kind of disappeared now because we all had to be together before. If you weren't there, you just were not connected. But now, thanks to everybody using Zoom communications, it's now normal to have a weekly catch-up with people in Japan. And because, these are guys who, I'm the old guy to you, they're the old guys to me. So they're also a little slower on the uptake of technology. But now that they're really into it, it's really cool because they'll forget about it for a second. Then they'll go, wait a minute, how far away are you again? I go, I think it's like 6,000 K or something. I go, wow, like you're back here with us. I go, well, I am in spirit. But yeah, so I've got the new stories too. They might be funny sometimes because they're very relevant to people now because they're based on this setup, the Zoom slash. Not sure if that was interesting enough to bring up.
No, I would. I would want to hear more about the stories themselves, but yeah, we'll save it for the next time.
Okay.
Zoom
thanks
stories.
Thanks for having me. You're telling me to get lost now, right? That's okay.
That's it. Yeah, we're just gonna play you off.
We're just gonna wrap up, and then we can hang out a bit more if we want. But thank you guys all so much for watching. I see some people were happy to see you here, Link, and as always, I always appreciate it. Always good to have you.
They're just people with taste. Let's put that out there now.
Hey, nice one.
There you go.
It was really cool for me. Thank you, Josh. It was great to see you and talk.
Yeah, it was great.
I miss you, bro.
I know, right? It's been forever.
I'm just now noticing that the organs on your shirt are cats, Josh.
Oh yeah. And there's even little cat intestines down the bottom.
Yeah.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah. Oh, and I just realized that the ribs are little paws. So that means the ribs is a cat, but it doesn't have a head.
You're the head.
Organs.
You're the cat head.
Oh, I'm the cat head. Oh man, I'm pretty quick. Yeah.
Get yourself some of those cat attachments for your headphones. Cat ear headphones.
Yeah.
Next time.
And as you do the chat, you've got to have the hand up like this, like the whole time. Yeah.
The whole time.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Oh man.
All right, guys.
Okay, cool.
Till next time,
Thanks
everyone.
so much, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Zach.
Bye-bye.
Check out Josh and Link's stuff.
Whatever.
online.
Yeah.
Nah,
Don't. Please don't.
don't.
All right.